Boxing truth here. I had to talk about this Deontay Wilder situation. I was gonna do this story yesterday, but been feeling under the weather. Just never got around to it, so I'm gonna bang it out now. But Deontay Wilder is showing fear of Alexander Povetkin. Now the fight hasn't officially been announced. They say May 21st, but they're still going through some negotiations right now. There's still no set venue, and also there's a drug testing issue, which could be a major hurdle of this fight going down. Now, while everybody's saying the fight's done and all this, it's still not officially done yet. You go on BoxRec, it's not on the Showtime schedule, so there's still some finishing touches to be done. However, the major issue is the drug testing. And Deontay Wilder is showing that he is shook of Povetkin's power, no doubt about it. He's seen Povetkin's last few performances, how he destroyed Mike Perez in one round, knocked out Carlos Takam, knocked out Manuel Char, and was able to stop Maurice Wach in his last fight. And he's been skeptical. He's been suspicious of Povetkin. He's been suspicious of a couple of fighters. And he's demanded stringent drug testing when their names pop up for a fight. Povetkin and Shannon Briggs. He's suspicious of those two guys. And with Povetkin, he's doubled down on accusations, saying that he's heard from unnamed sources close to him, or that know Povetkin, who's been in the gym with him, that perhaps, yes, he's possibly using. Is Alexander Povetkin using? Who knows? A lot of top fighters in boxing are using, because drug testing in boxing is a joke. If you're not doing stringent 24/7, 365 drug testing, you're suspect, just the way it is. And if you're not using VADA, or some companies overseas, like a Swedish company, IDT, who caught Antonio Tarver in his last fight against Cunningham, then they're not the most reliable. Most hardcore boxing fans know that USADA is a joke. You know, they'll play ball. You can overpay them. It has a silencer's fee. They're willing to bend the rules. That's why Mayweather used them for the last part of his career, last 6 years of his career. Come out of retirement to fight Marquez, he used them. And it's because they play ball. They bend the rules. They cover up positive drug tests. They'll allow you to use illegal IVs. They'll allow you to inject yourself with 6 times the amount of vitamins and saline that is allowed according to their rules. So USADA is a joke. And if you pay them enough, they'll hide shit for you and they'll play ball. But VADA doesn't play ball. They're legit. They've caught fighters in the past. They have shut down significant fights in the past, which prompted Richard Schaefer, who ran Golden Boy at the time, not to use them anymore. And an Al Haymon client hasn't used VADA testing in years. Instead, they've opted for other companies, mostly USADA. And most hardcore boxing fans know why. So it's pretty funny that Deontay Wilder, which is very ironic, is insisting on VADA testing for Povetkin. Where was this requirement in his voluntary defenses against these hand-picked opponents like Eric Molina, Johan Duhaupas, and Offer Spilka? Where was the demand for VADA testing in those fights? He didn't demand any stringent drug testing. From what I've read, there wasn't any stringent drug testing in his last fight. I read an article on Boxing Scene, an old one, that Offer Spilka 10 days before the fight said he wasn't even randomly drug tested. So he showed no concerns of drug testing in those fights. Not any stringent drug testing like VADA, because, like as French Montana would say, he wasn't worried about nothing. He wasn't worried about Offer Spilka. Wasn't worried about Eric Molina's. He wasn't worried about Johan Duhaupas, because he knew he trashed them dudes. Them guys were handpicked. But Povetkin, he's shown fear of his power. He's shown that he's a little worried about this guy, because he thinks he's on some shit. Now it's ironic that he's demanding VADA testing for this fight because he really truly feels Alexander Povetkin is on some shit. And now, even though the fight was kind of announced, but you go on BoxRec, it's still not set. It's still not official because there's no venue. There's still a lot of stuff to be done. It's now that this drug testing thing's going on, there's still a lot of skeptics that Wilder is going to go through with this fight because of this drug testing issue. Now, Radovinsky, he's saying to the Wilder's team, chill, calm the fuck down. There's going to be stringent dope testing, but they're not going to use VADA. They're going to use a European company. I don't know the name of it. However, it's not going to be RUSADA because they are, at the time being, suspended for manipulating drug tests, which caused a huge scandal in Russia for some athletes. But RUSADA is off the table, so they're going to use a European company. And that could be a major stumbling block of this fight. I'm disappointed that Deontay is showing a little fear. It is a sign of weakness. It is. He's showing he's a little fearful of Povetkin. It's very disappointing that he's scared of this little dude, this 6'2" guy that he towers over. Yeah, he's got some pop. Yeah, he's a pretty good fighter. Olympic gold medalist. He's got a skill set. He's got power, but he's shown vulnerabilities against taller fighters. He's not as fast as Wilder. Wilder's pretty good at setting distance. He uses his jab. He has a good 1-2. Yeah, he's sloppy with his footwork, but he's unorthodox. He's not a normal guy to fight because he doesn't go by the book. He's not a textbook fighter. He has his own style, which can make it problematic for some fighters who are more used to a guy who is more textbook compared to an unorthodox style, and that's what Wilder brings to the ring. But people are skeptical. There are people in the industry that hear rumors that the fight might not go down, that Wilder is not going to go through with it. It's disappointing. I really believe Wilder can defeat Povetkin. Been saying it for months. And this situation with the drug testing is showing that Wilder is definitely a little concerned about the strength of Povetkin and his power and the performances he's produced in the last few of his fights. But it's funny as hell that he wants VADA testing for this fight all of a sudden. He didn't require it for other fights, has never even used it. But that's just an admission that he feels Povetkin is on something and that he's a little shook of his power. I hope the rumors are not true, that he's not going to go through with it, but still hasn't been officially done. But it's a funny situation that just arose with with this drug testing issue. Just Wilder's team is just showing so many concerns now that they're talking about Povetkin can't dictate the ring size. Heavyweight boxing could be freaking problematic. You saw it in the Fury Klitschko fight. The shit with the ring, the shit with the gloves. Fury was paranoid as hell. Wouldn't eat anything, wouldn't drink anything in the locker room. Thought he would get poisoned or drugged before a fight. You can never be too careful in the heavyweight division. I understand the concern for Wilder about Povetkin, but to insist on VADA testing now when you didn't do it prior in any of the other fights, it shows that you definitely is a little intimidated of Povetkin's power. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.